It's that time of week again and we've got another update. So we're going to be having a look around a few different vans. This week we've got another tip, and don't forget to hit the subscribe button, give us a comment and give us a like. Try and still, before January, can we get to 15,000 subscribers? So try and help us out if you can. If you've not already subscribed, please do so. Let's get on with the video. Now the problem with hitch locks is we're going to have a look around at a few vans. Now some of them we've had for a little bit, because it is now basically, as you can see, we're well into winter now. Temperatures have dropped dramatically. So hopefully you've watched our other little tips throughout the last couple of weeks, getting the van drained down, getting all your toilet system drained down, putting your moisture traps in. So hopefully you've been doing all the things that we've been saying basically, so that it should then hopefully be that your caravan is in a good state, ready for use or ready just to be away for the winter. Nice little price range on that one. As I say, we're well into December now. The weather's going cold, so sales now just sort of drop off. They basically stop. December, we're lucky to see anybody, but it gives us a chance to get on top of all the little jobs, try and clean up. We've got a load of patchwork repair to do. We'll have a look at the fence because we're somewhere near on the fence. No more accidents this week. Nice Bailey Modena. We've had this for a while and I'm really surprised, because this is a lightweight little fixed bed. So this is the Bailey Pegasus Modena. 2016, it's 1,300 kilograms and it's 16,495. So quite a nice little lightweight van. So I can't believe this hasn't gone, to be honest with you. And the chances of it now going before next year, I think, are slim. So as I say, hopefully you've been doing all the things. You've been keeping on top of your battery. You've been getting all the big one is obviously draining down, because if you've got the water now left in your taps and what have you, it is going to cause you problems with the temperatures that we've got. It's just going to freeze up completely. So really, your tap should be left open, and obviously all your drain bungs and what have you. So hopefully, as I say, you've been doing that and you've got all up to speed on that. Nice six berth. So this is 21995 2021 Sprite Major 6 TD. Really good family van. And what we're going to be looking at today is sort of the next step on security wise, because now we're into this time of year where it's dark for so much longer. It's so dark throughout the morning. Sort of 4:30 it's dark, and it is the time, unfortunately, where if your caravan's going to get stolen, there's more chance of it getting stolen now. So what can we do to prevent it, obviously, to stop that from happening? Now, if you've got the caravan in storage, hopefully it's a secure storage site, but you're still going to need to make sure that you've got hitch locks on, wheel locks on. Have you got a tracker system? So again, if you've got a tracker system, you need to make sure that your battery's topped up, and just doing as much as we possibly can. We'll have a look at a few different security products in a minute. And again then, sort of, if you keep the caravan at home, have you done as much as you possibly can while it's at home? We ourselves use the Ring cameras, because that sort of gives us notifications that if somebody walks onto the drive, we see it straight away, we get a notification, we can actually talk to them. But one of the other big things that I've found to be really good is a barrier in the driveway. That's probably one of the best security features separate to the Caravan that you can possibly have, is sort of having one of the drop down barriers. I think we've got some in our gateway that we'll have a look at. Still got a fair amount of stock. We're not sort of completely stocked up, but we've got a good range of stock ready for next year. No, well, because of the extra work that we've got, we need enough room to be able to move all of this line out of the way and up the top, which is why they're cleaning all the top area at the minute. So that just sort of, we can't really get any more in at the minute. As I say, we're not really going to sell a huge amount now, between now and January, so it's not like we've got a load of stuff to come in, because we know that there's a load of vans going out. But barriers, something like this, they're not huge costs, sort of probably £400 or £500, and you can get good barriers that go in your driveway. And again, the big bulldog hoop, that's a real good one, because you can put that right over the A-frame of the Caravan and really secure the Caravan into place. Let's have a look at our new fencing area. So we're getting somewhere near, and again, it's our focus at the minute is on the security side. So within our fencing, we've got all of the extra barriers in there. We're getting ready for I think we've just got to pull out the old fence posts now, get a digger in, get it all cleared out, and this will all be then concreted in, which then will sort of supersonic security all the fence line and what have you then, as well as all of our extra security. So we end up having to have 24-hour surveillance. We've got on-site security 24 hours, and it's just the extents that you end up going to, unfortunately, to try and keep your own things safe. It's the one thing that probably ends up keeping me awake, is thinking about security. And the more that you can do, the easier you can sort of feel. And then also, if potential thieves are looking at eyeing different things up, and you've got a big barrier in the drive, you've got all your locks on, etc., they're hopefully going to move on to somebody else's that's a little bit easier. So the different things that we can do is hitch lock. So on this one, that is a Winterhoff hitch lock. So on the ones with the big blue handle, which is on the Winterhoff chassis, so that's normally on the Elvises, the Compasses, some of the other older vans had the Winterhoffs as well, but majority now is the Alco. So there's different hitch locks out there. Now the problem with hitch locks is, if you're going to go for just a hitch lock, nothing else, there's nothing stopping the people that are going to steal your Caravans from putting a chain round there, tying a chain round onto their tow ball, and they can still tow the Caravan away. So if you've got just a hitch lock, just bear that in mind, because basically they take the legs up, pop a chain round there, and it's gone. There's even bars out there that they've done, which has got another hitch on there. They clamp it onto there and drive off. So just a hitch lock isn't good enough. And again, it doesn't matter whether it's the big chunky one, the little red one that goes over. If you've not got anything on the wheels, the Caravan is still as vulnerable as ever. Alco take these, but some of the older chassis you can get a retrofit kit. You'd need to speak to Alco about it, but they basically bolt in through the back of the hub. This then fits into your alloy, and then there's a bolt that goes through here into the receiver, and then there's a lock. Now these are very, very good, because they're not going to not be able to cut them off. They can, unfortunately, cut through these still, but it takes them a long time. It's not a quick little job to sort of get these off, like some of the other types of hitch locks. They can just come along with wheel clamp, sorry. They can come along with an angle grinder, a little oxyacetylene torch, and they can cut them off fairly quickly. But the Alco Secure locks are very, very good, and I'd say if you've got the Alco Secure receiver in there, if you can have a look on eBay, we'll put a link in the website to the Alco website, where you go and you actually find out what number that you require for your Caravan. and you can then go on to sort of eBay and buy them second hand at a fairly sensible price. And even if you buy it just like this, without the locks and without the little screw, you can buy the individual parts. But if you can get it where you've got the little lock, I'll just go and get a bag that sort of shows you everything within that. Just bear with me 2 seconds. So we've got our Alco bag here. So we've got our receiver, and then in the box you should have really 2 keys, the actual lock that then goes in, the little bolt that then goes through, and also the little key so that you can actually, it's like a lock nut key sort of a thing. Now also, if you're going to buy it second hand, I would, if possible, try and get it with there's a little registration card, and that little registration card will allow you to register the lock with Alco. And if you've not got that card, there's not really any way around it being able to register it. It's not the end of the world. It just literally means that you can't register it to yourself. So if you lose a part of it, it's just a nightmare having to try and have it removed or have it cut off, or if you lose the little locking part, you can't get hold of the parts easily. So it is a bit of a nightmare, but it's up to you really whether you think it's sort of, if you're saving a lot of money and it hasn't got the registration card, then it might still be worth it to you. Other thing is the trackers. So Moving Intelligence UK, now they asked us to do a review on one of their products a while ago and we just never got a chance to do it, so it might be that next year that we do. But they do a mobile little tracker that you can sort of put within the Caravan. It's got its own little battery that will last so long, and that is just literally something that you can hide within the Caravan then. So if anything were to happen, you can then actually track the Caravan for yourself. There are other trackers out there as well, sort of, if you have a look on eBay. There's all different types of ones, and again, it might just be worth having something like that hidden in. But really the big thing is the visual deterrence. If you've got it at home, possibly think about some sort of bollards, making sure really a good wheel lock or even 2 wheel locks on there, and it's just doing as much as you possibly can to try and slow them down. So if you've got either cameras that are going to notify you, you can either ring the police or start shouting at them or whatever. And it's just trying to look after your stuff, and it's unfortunate that we have to go to such extents to look after our own property, but it's just the way that it is, unfortunately. Hopefully you've liked our little tip this week. Hopefully you've been watching all the other tips and your system is all completely ready for this bad weather. Hopefully England didn't lose last night. Yeah, that'll be interesting against France. So not holding out too much hope, but thanks for watching. I'm Mark at the Caravan Place.